Hello everybody and welcome back to A Vintage Story Season 2. We've got a lot to do today. I want to do some building on the house. So I have a lot of plans for today. You can see that I have done some texturing on the house. Not everywhere, because there are some places where I actually plan to be replacing the granite cobblestone. But before we get into building, let's have a quick look back at some of the things that happened in between episodes. I can't stress enough how good ore is at coming online at exactly the worst moment. After the storm, I almost died to a tainted drifter in my house. Ore tried to help me and promptly died. Luckily, he had already been able to set his spawn at the village, so he was back quickly.
Okay, got the ones there.
Nice. And then there was the double-headed drifter in my garden.
Oh.
Why would you do
I
that?
didn't see it was a gate.
Outside. Nebris, wanna help with this guy?
Oh dear.
Ow. He's dead. Ow.
The four of us finally managed to take him down, and we got another temporal gear out of that. Another bear was hanging out near my boars, so Ore and I tried to trap him. Alright, so how do we want to play this? Oh yeah,
I prefer PC.
Keeper hole, yeah. I mean, someone can just jump in there, wait for the bear to jump in too, and then go out the...
Yeah, that's what I was trying to do, but also I need a vantage point to throw something.
Oh yeah, he's coming,
Got it.
Got him! He's not
Wait
happy
for it.
about
Worked
that.
flawlessly.
Yeah, it did, actually. Nebris had found another translocator and was leading Ore, Maddie and me to it. Given that it was the middle of winter, we were really hoping that this time it would get us further south.
Yes, we're south. Southwest. There's food. There's a redwood forest.
It was a beautiful place and brought with it some resources that we didn't have before. We did not end up settling there, but Nebris's quest always has been to reach the tropics, so he would spend a lot of time there looking for additional translocators that would bring him closer to his goal. But now let's get back to building. So first let's start with the porch, because I've actually been meaning to put a roof over it and haven't managed to do so yet, and that would have been great in the winter because I had snow accumulating everywhere. I do like my little array of plants though. I made another 2 of those big planters and we can place them later as well. We still have some spots over here where I can place some of them. So for most of my roof I wanted to use this sod roofing, which I think looks totally adorable. So it has grass on the top and I think it looks a little more whimsical. I think it's hard to describe because it's a little bit of a different vibe than the rest of the house, but I think the mix could be very interesting. So we have this thing that looks more like it comes from a cozy cabin in the woods, and then we have the house itself that looks more sturdy, and I hope that the effect is looking good. Let's just try it out. I won't know until I try it. So this is a start, and the only thing is that I think I can't do any chiseling to it because, well, that wouldn't look good. Maybe I can chisel away some of the inner part, but I do need to put some planks underneath it that will look decent. And I think I'm wondering which planks fit here. Is it the aged wooden planks? Let me just try it out. Yeah, exactly, that fits. So I'm going to chisel away most of that. I just want some... Yeah, I want a decent ridge here. Okay, so right now the roof looks quite massive. I think that's going to get better once I do some of the chiseling, and also once I add some of the rest of the house and this like doesn't overpower the entire facade anymore. But I also need to add some supports here in the corners. And I think some plain granite bricks and granite cobblestone are going to work well for that. Or maybe I will do some chiseling of that. Yeah, actually, I think those columns make a big difference because now it doesn't look like it's floating, just floating in the air anymore. So yeah, that definitely helps. So now, before we move on to anything else, let me just get out my chisel so that we can make this look nice and proper and less wonky. So first of all, the stairs. Yeah, I have been procrastinating that for a long time, but I finally want some stairs that I can run up. So this is what my porch looks like now, and I'm very chuffed with it. Yeah, it looks very cozy and inviting. The only thing is that the roof is a little bit thick, but since I couldn't chisel into these blocks, I couldn't make it. Oh, I think I could actually make it like one layer thinner, so maybe I should try that. But anyway, yeah, I have these blocks here where I had to combine the stone and the wood to make the pillar go into the roof. So that was the first time I tried combining two different blocks when chiseling, so that's very interesting. And I've added the other planters, and yeah, I spent a little more time than I'd like to admit just arranging the plants in the right way, the way I wanted it. Now I think it looks really good. The next project I want to take on is making a roof for the forge. I had to make a temporary roof out of dirt because I didn't extend the planks that are the floor for the second floor over to there, because this one's actually going to get a roof directly. Then drifters were spawning on the other part of the roof and dropping in on me there. So yeah, that is definitely not a good look right now. And I said I wanted to use the sod roofing from the most part of the house, but the forge is actually going to get a bit of a different thing, because I want to have a very slightly slanted roof here. So let's get on top and start from there. Okay, so first things first. Actually, I can extend out the planks a little bit more, because this room is going to continue the way here and up to here. So let's just do that. And then I'm going to have the wall here. And then... Oops, well, that was not intentional, but anyway, that's the place where I need to start the roof, but I think I need to fiddle around with this a little bit, so I'm probably going to do that off camera. So after a lot of trial and error, this is the roof shape that I've arrived at. So just a very slight angle, because otherwise it either gets too low on this side or too high on that side. And I think with this one, we have the perfect balance of both. I still need to do the chiseling on the underside and on most of the rest of the roof. So that's going to take some time. And then I also want to replace these blocks here. So I want these to be pure granite blocks, and then I want to do some nice chiseling with some proper arched windows here. And I think that's going to look good, but I need to try it out a little bit. So that's going to be another project where I will, I guess, spend a little time on just trying out things. But I think right now is maybe a good time to get some blocks for that. So I do have a little granite quarry here, back here. And what we can do... Oh, and we have some new piggies too, which is great. But anyway, there's something we can do if you just want to use the blocks for chiseling instead of for crafting, in which case we need to do the thing where we dig around the block and then it falls down as a block. We can just do this. Just activate the chisel on the block, And then if I try to mine it, it drops the block. But yeah, it's going to be a chiseled block now, so we can't use it for crafting anymore. Still, since that is exactly what I want to do, that's the way I'm going to do it now. And there we have it. I also got some of the cracked granite to mix in just for a little bit more texture. And yeah, it doesn't look like much right now, but I have a very specific vision in my mind, and I hope that... Ooh. I hope that... I'm so easily distracted. I hope that with some chiseling, or a lot of chiseling actually, I can make it work. Okay, so here's the start of how I wanted to do this and how I wanted this to look, and I think it's going in a good direction, but I'm already bored of chiseling, and I think I'm going to keep that for some of the boring nights. Now it is day, and there's something very important that I need to do still to continue building my house, and that is, I said I wanted to replace some of the walls, and I have decided on sandstone, because I think it has a really nice color, nice and warm yellow. And so I need to get a lot of sandstone blocks to replace the walls here and also on the other side of the house. So this little part here is going to get replaced. The tower is going to remain this way, and it's going to be stone and cobblestone and bricks all the way up. And then this part is also going to get replaced, and that is why I did the texturing only on the bottom 2 blocks. Okay, I've dug a huge hole and I have almost 4 stacks of the sandstone rocks. I'm not sure if that's going to be enough. Probably not, if we're being honest. I also wanted to try and find some of the cracked sandstone rocks. I haven't spotted any yet. I think it's easiest to find in like cave walls or like exposed rock walls like we have here. So it's almost time to head back if I don't want to spend the night out here, which I guess I could. Didn't take a bed. But let's see if I can find any exposed cracked sandstone. Not seeing any. I guess I'm going to have to come back for the cracked sandstone another time. Right now I'm itching to get started with building. I did some more chiseling overnight, and this is now getting close to looking the way I want it to. So yeah, I need to do a little bit more work. I want it to look a little bit more ornate still. It's going to be a little bit kitschy, I know, but I think I really like that. But now the sun has risen, like, not quite, but kind of. So let's do some of the other buildings. So as I said, I want to replace this wall with the sandstone rocks. So let's do that and see how it looks. Yeah, I like it. The only thing that's slightly bothering me is like these horizontal stripes kind of that the sandstone has, but it's quite subtle, so I think it's not too bad. Okay, so I have replaced the parts. We have this one here. We have this one here and the ugly unchiseled side of the forge. And we have this one here. And now we can continue building up the house a bit further. Adding more floors with the sandstone I have still left. So this is what I've been really excited for. And look at that, I have chiseled the staircase. It also goes down into the basement. And I'm thinking about making this tower quite tall and then putting a windmill on top and just having an axle just that goes down into the basement, and then I can have like a half hammer setup and things like that. But that's far in the future. So here I have used dirt to lay out the shape of the upper floor here so that I knew where to place the roof. And yeah, I wanted to have a little bit of an alcove or something here. And for the top of the kitchen I have some special plans. I want to do some kind of half-timbered house, using some chiseling and some plaster and probably, I'm guessing, slate for the wooden beams. So that's going to be a lot of work, but I think it's going to look great. And I want to pull it out 1 block more, or maybe half a block. I don't know how I'm going to do the layer below that. Probably also with some chiseling. But anyway, this is going to stick out a bit more. Originally I wanted to do the entire house out of plaster, but I decided against it because it's just such a pain. Making the quicklime just takes such a long time, so I decided against it. I think Nebris has some plans like that, and I'm curious to see where he goes with it. Okay, so that's nice, isn't it? We've made a lot of progress and I'm really quite happy with it. Now, what I need to do is a ton of chiseling, and also I need to figure out how I'm going to put the roof up there, because we have quite an irregular shape, which is great because it adds a lot of visual interest, but that makes roofs a little bit tricky. So I'm just gonna have to figure that out, but I don't think that's something that's going to look good on video. So I think I will be doing that in between episodes. And I need to figure out something to do with this wall here. My chests are behind there, so I can't really add a window, so I don't know. There needs to be something there. Maybe I'll plant a tree here. That wouldn't be too bad, I guess. But anyway, as always, thank you very much for watching. I always really appreciate it. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please leave a like if you did, and I'm going to see you in the next one. Bye bye.